John Bennett here, and this is actually my first trading video, day trading video. And I wanted to shoot this, and I'm going to be posting more and more videos just to kind of share my experience. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I can't, I don't do it all day, every day. And if you hear any noise in the background, it's because the kids are playing in the pool, so I apologize for that. And I have, all kind of alerts going off. But anyway, so I started trading. We're looking at the Bitcoin to US dollar. That's really where I wanted to play. I wanted to trade Bitcoin. That's the main thing I was trying to do. So let me show you where I started trading. Start at the daily chart, and we're going to zoom out here. And I started trading right about here, right about mid-May. And when I got in and started trading a little bit, it was just like up, 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 up. I mean, I was like, man, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's crazy. And of course, we took a dip here, quite a big dip off the top at 3,000. And since then, it's been kind of sideways in this channel. And I've traded daily. Now, in the beginning, here's some lessons I learned. Maybe you can, if you're starting to trade, these are, I think every trader learns these early, and I'm glad I learned these. Number one, you got to be careful with leverage. Number two, position size needs to be your position size that you come into a trade. You need to be comfortable with, and you can, if you put on too large of a position, you can find yourself in trouble. Other mistakes I made, of course, emotion. You got to learn to just remove emotion completely from trading. You got to have some rules for yourself. You've got to take each trade and learn from them. Now, having said that, I've only lost a couple trades, and I probably trade 2 or 3 times a day, and I haven't lost a trade in 3 weeks. But there's a reason for that, and there's a way I'm doing this. I learned early on that try to develop your style and system of how you're going to trade. One of the things that I learned is that I was trying to be too cautious. After I lost a little bit on a couple trades, I was too cautious. So I had stop losses really tight. And of course, what happens when you put a tight stop loss, you get stopped out just about every time. So I actually don't use any stop losses. I'm going to explain how I do that. And what I'm doing now. Now, please understand, I am a novice. This is not investment advice. This is more like, me just sharing what I'm learning along the way. So don't take anything I say as investment advice. Certainly not that. But I hope you can learn from some of the tools I'm using and things that I've learned along the way. And that's what this channel, all these videos and everything I'm putting out. It's really, I'm just having a lot of fun with it. Now, I can't sit in front of the computer. I do sit in front of the computer all day, but I actually run several online businesses. So I'm not sitting here trading all day. For me, I could, but, I have other responsibilities, and I don't want to be tied to the computer all the time. So it was important for me to come up with a trading style that I could be comfortable with, that would work throughout with my lifestyle, basically. So anyway, jumping forward, let me switch to the 4-hour. One of the other big mistakes I used to make is trying to trade the 5-minute and the 1-minute chart. Absolutely crazy. It's hard to watch. It's hard to interpret price action when it's moving that quickly, especially in Bitcoin or crypto. So I highly recommend that you learn that lesson. There are people that do it and can do it. You just have to be very quick, and you have to really know your stuff to be watching a 5 or 15-minute chart, and definitely not even not a 1-minute chart. That's insane. So right now I'm looking. I've gotten to where I started looking only at the 1-hour chart, and then now to the point where I like the 4-hour chart. Just makes a lot of sense for me. So let's talk about a recent trade. Okay. All right. So we're in this pattern. I'm going back, and we're in this kind of sideways pattern. And, there's another thing I'll say too about Bitcoin and crypto is there are, in Forex especially, there are pure technical traders that they don't care what the news is. They don't even look for the news. The fundamentals is what they call it. The outside forces that can move markets. They trade strictly off the chart. It's my firm belief that, especially in crypto, you can do 80% price action and technical analysis, but the news, especially right now with the scaling debate and everything that's going on with Bitcoin, you do need to pay attention to the news. And if you're trading small cryptocurrencies, the news just can make it go crazy. It can pump, it can dump, it can go all over the place. So the news, you cannot do 100% pure technical, in my opinion. So I do keep up with the news and things like that. And the news definitely affects. So I'm coming along here and I've been trading some of these. But this is a good example of what happened. So I found out early on there's a pattern that happens when I've got alerts set. Here's one. Basically, when the price drops $80 to $120 in a pretty quick time, often it will come right back up. Here's one. It fell. Let's see how much did it fall from 27.40 to 20. So that's like a 500 point drop in about a day and a half. That's drastic, but more often than not, you're going to get these. See, what's this? This is 26.55 down to 2,500, so about 150 points, and that's a 4-hour bar. So, about an hour. But this happens all the time. You see it here, and I traded those pretty successfully, just waiting for the bottom, waiting for it to turn. So I'm coming along here, and really, I found I'm a big believer in support levels and resistance levels. So I knew we had support here. It fell through support. And my first trade, I took a little bit around 2,300. I took a small position at about 2,300. And I thought, all right, cool, it's going to bounce, right? I'm thinking it's going to bounce here. Well, it doesn't. It keeps going. So I'm like, all right. So here's my trading style in a nutshell right now. Come in small. If it goes against me, I just buy more. Just keep buying more. And that goes to another point. You need to make sure you have enough capital to trade this stuff. Especially if you're using leverage, like I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. Make sure you have enough capital. So what happens if, let's just say for round numbers, I bought $1,000 here and then $1,000 here. Well, my position now isn't here. It's halfway between the two. So I lowered my position, to like 23.30. Actually looking at the wrong part. This is where I bought. It wasn't that drop. It was this one. So I started buying here. I ended up around 21.70, and I'm actually on vacation during this time. It was 21.70, and the thing just goes all the way down to 1,900. I remember I was watching. I was like, oh Lord. But for me, I did not have enough capital really to keep buying down into this. So and this was a couple of mistakes I made earlier. So I wanted to have enough capital for my position not to be liquidated and things like that. So I just held at 2,700 and waited. And sure enough, I was able to scale out of the position here. I got out into here for a profit. But I've got to tell you, you got to have the cojones to watch that thing drop and go, and it could have dropped way down. The amount of leverage I was using, it could have dropped to 1,200. I'd still be okay. And I could still hold. So that's really important to be able to sleep at night. I've had a couple of instances where I was over leveraged, and had huge positions, and this same sort of thing happened, and I stressed out. It's really way too stressful. So make sure you have enough capital. Make sure you're not in a position where you're going to be liquidated. I'm going to explain what that means here in a minute. So here's where we are right now. Okay. Look, we hit support way down here, and I'm looking at the XBT to USD. This is a futures contract on BitMEX. It's going to look the same. Here, I'll show you. Let's see. Here's Poloniex, BTC to USD, same thing. I mean, they follow the same. The numbers aren't going to be exact, but they're all following the Bitcoin to US dollar price. I trade on BitMEX. I'll explain that in my next video. I think I'll go through BitMEX and how that works. I'm not in a trade right now. Kind of waiting to see what happens here with this dip. So, but this is just an introduction. Let me pop over to BitMEX and kind of show you. I am in a trade here. Now, this is a perfect example of the trading style that I like. And I'm in negative right now. This is Litecoin to BTC. Let me zoom in. Litecoin to BTC. And my position, I got 250 sitting right here at 0.1978. Now, it has dropped. Now, if I had put a stop loss in, I would have taken a loss. But, I'm looking at the Litecoin, and it's made a big run up lately, and it's already come down. Now we're hitting resistance here, right where we are right now. My expectation is that this thing is going to pop back up. I've already got a sell order in to take off some of the position here in case, I'm sleeping or whatever. And I've got a buy order in if it drops down here. What happens when it drops down here? My net position gets lowered, and I can really afford to keep doing that. So right now I'm only at like a 0.17 Bitcoin loss, not a big deal. And my liquidation is somewhere like 0.015 or something. So liquidation is, well, I don't want to get too much into BitMEX. I'm going to save that for another video. But so this is live trade right now. And this, it could take a day. Usually my trades last 3 or 4 hours. And they're done. Sometimes they're shorter. Sometimes they're 3 or 4 days. But that's the max. But this is, I call it riding out the storm, getting in at what I think is a good price. And if it goes my way right away, I'll take profit right away. And that'll be a quick, nice trade. If it doesn't go my way, then I just keep doubling down basically. And the way the reason I like that is because one of the hard lessons I learned is you don't know where the market's going to go. And you may think you may think you got your technical analysis down pat and you're 100% sure you think where it's going to go. If you think you don't. At least I'm just not that good. Maybe eventually I can make my calls and they'll be great all the time. But with this type of trading style, you don't have to be right. You just have to have the capital to stay in the game till it turns back your way. I'll say one thing before I shut this video off because it's getting too long is I like BitMEX because I can trade in Bitcoin and stay in Bitcoin. For me, Bitcoin is my long term. I'm just trying to multiply and grow my Bitcoin amount. And with BitMEX, I can do that. All the other exchanges, you have to go in and out of fiat, things like that, or Bitcoin to other cryptos, but I can trade in Bitcoin with Bitcoin and stay in Bitcoin with BitMEX. And that is the main reason. And I also like a lot of other things. I get into that in my next video. I'll go into a BitMEX overview and how to trade BitMEX or how I trade BitMEX and the features of BitMEX. So basically Litecoin, I'll give you guys an update on this trade as it progresses. We're sitting right here, and I expect it to go. I mean, it could go down. So this is Litecoin to Bitcoin, Litecoin to Bitcoin. It's not Litecoin to US dollars. If we go over here, we can see Litecoin to US dollars, and it's good to kind of analyze that chart. So you can see it made a big run up here, and it's kind of been trending downward. So, I expected to retrace to here and go, but I could be wrong. I mean, we got serious support right here. We break that support, it could be ugly. But I think the belief and the trend, long-term trend for Litecoin is pretty good right now. So anyway, I'm going to shut this video off. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also check out the links in my profile and hit me up. I do have a private closed group for people investing in crypto and people that are investing long-term with BitConnect and USI Tech, or some things I'm playing with. So if you want to join that, check those pages out, and I'll talk to you later.